Viewers all over the world, ladies and gentlemen, sons and daughters of the Prophet, I welcome you to this episode. Last time around we met and we discussed the challenges that the youth face, and we turned around every single insecurity into an answer, into a solution. This week again, we continue with that agenda. With us today is our father in the Lord, Prophet Dr. Robert Ouma. He is about to unravel the mystery. Take out the time, put forth your notebook. Something is about to be revealed. I welcome you to another episode of The Voice, my co-host.
Yeah, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Christine, and I hope you enjoy this episode. May you find blessings and answers to questions that you have and challenges. I hope you'll be blessed. Thank you.
Thank you for joining us today.
Thank you.
Papa, we thank you for the opportunity.
You're welcome.
Thank you for being with us. Without further ado, we tackle some of the questions that our viewers had. Particularly, last time around we left off and we were tackling pre-relationship matters, particularly to do with choosing the right partner, understanding what to look for, how to build the right foundation. Now, having applied those principles, the next step definitely is courtship. How should courtship be understood within the current generation? Because the world is saying something, but they don't always connect with biblical principles. Help us understand, how should we view courtship?
Generally, courtship has been misinterpreted. And if you check what they call courtship today and what was the biblical courtship, is totally different. Now, there are two terms here that I want us to address. There's what we call courtship, and there's what we call somebody being betrothed. Now, to be betrothed is a scenario where somebody yet still young, not in the age of marriage, this family and this family come into agreement that our son will marry your daughter, or your daughter will marry our son, as early as possible. Maybe at birth, 5 years, 10 years. It depends with different tribes and communities and beliefs. So now, let me come with the word betrothed. When somebody was to be betrothed, when somebody was to be betrothed, the family had to pay a commitment to the lady's family. Okay? The lady was to grow knowing you will marry in so-so family and you will marry so-so person. And the word being betrothed wouldn't allow them to go beyond certain parameters. It was well defined. Now, the word courtship is different from being the betrothed, because courtship is a period between when somebody get to know somebody and when they actually get to marry. So they call it a period when people get to know each other. But even at that, what people then call courtship today is not the correct biblical translation of what courtship would be. So in most cases, when somebody is dating somebody, when somebody is courting somebody, and when somebody is betrothed to somebody, the generation today doesn't know whether I'm courting, I'm dating, I'm betrothed, but I'm doing something. Are you following? Now, biblically, what the Bible recognizes well is being betrothed. The Bible doesn't have a lot to say about courtship, because it's the period in between. But if you check, Abraham is telling his servant, put your hands between my thighs and promise me that you will marry for my son a daughter in so-so family. Courtship ought not to be what it is today, but unfortunately it is. People who are courting are not supposed to stay together. People who are courting, the lady doesn't have to come to your house or go to her house. Originally, what we used to do, what we call church doctrine, we can't place it in the Bible, but it's a practice in church, that a brother from the church would accompany you if you're going to see a sister, or a sister would accompany her when she's coming to see you. Why? Because the Bible says, flee from sexual sin. It says, resist the devil, and he will run away. But when you talk about sexual sin, it says, flee. Don't resist. Because how many can resist? So don't say, me, I'm strong. Me, I'll resist it. Let it come. Run. So because of the running part, this is why they were telling the man or the woman, for the purpose of running away. If you are going to meet a man that you are, dating, courting, whatever term we call it, for the purpose of sanctity and holiness, when you carry another sister, you can't go and mess around. At least a sister from the church, somebody that you uphold the same faith together, or a brother. But when you carry a brother, or when you carry a sister, you meet the two of you, you say, after all, we are going to marry. So, this thing, what are we fearing? Even pastor, no. Even God, no. Before you know it, the Bible says sex before marriage is sin. So, the courtship today doesn't understand that part. What I would say is, in the period of getting to know each other, people need to uphold righteousness and purity. And by so doing, one of the ways is people need to avoid physical meetings in as much as possible. Because people say, okay, Papa, how will I know the man? How will I know the lady? Let me tell you today, before this camera, you will never know a man enough. You will never in your entire life know a woman enough. If you like, date for 10 years. If you like, court somebody. Have you not seen people who have courted for 7 years, 10 years? And when they marry, they did not stay 3 months. Then you hear a man is saying, I didn't know this lady would behave this way. I thought you knew her for 7 years. I didn't know this man. You get to realize, let me tell you, it doesn't matter how much you know a woman. It doesn't matter how much you know a man. You can never know them enough. So people are hiding behind courtship to sin. Because once we know you are going to marry, the two of you are planning marriage. Now we will not question you. When we see you together, at least we understand. Okay, you are planning your wedding. Okay, you are planning your marriage. Okay, you are trying to know each other. Once we build trust around the two of you, now you begin to stay as husband and wife. You'll be coming, washing clothes, cooking your food, doing everything a married woman should do before marriage. So what I would say is this: the biblical standard of courtship should be a scenario where is a time people are waiting on God to know the will of God. God, am I going in the right direction? That should be the right courtship. It can be 1 month, it can be 1 year, but it shouldn't be more than 1 year. If you ask me. Okay, you're courting somebody for 4 years. Is a college, is a course you are doing. You understand what I'm saying? Because in most cases, more heartbreak happen because you court with somebody or date with somebody for long, then you build your faith on somebody. You build your trust. You introduce this person to your friends. You introduce this person to your family because you trust the person. You know you are building future. Then now you realize tomorrow the future was not there in the first place. See the big heartbreak. The more you court, the more you date, the more you prepare for heartbreak. If you asked me, 6 months, 1 year, boom, done. If it's not working, go your way. Is it medicine we are doing? Is it law? Are you following? Because again, the more time you give the devil a chance. Listen, I told you last time, and I'll repeat. Sometimes your value standards may have conflict with the will of God. This is what I want for a man. This is what I want for a woman. But what is presenting itself before you is not anywhere close to your value standards. But sometimes, if it's the will of God, somehow you will align with it. Listen, not every problem goes when you pray. Holy Ghost fire, any satanic power, not every problem goes in the name of Jesus. Some problem God will give you grace to outgrow. Do you understand what I'm saying? You meet a man who is snoring too much, you say, what kind of nonsense is this? In my wildest dream, what kind of a man is this? He changes gear. But the more you stay with a man, the more you begin to forget his snoring. It's the neighbors who will be telling you your husband is snoring. You are by his side, you're not hearing it. Does it mean the problem has gone? You outgrow it. Like somebody who is living by the roadside. The first weeks or the first days you start sleeping in that house, the cars, as more as you stay in that house, you even don't even know if the road is there. So there are problems you outgrow. What I was answering is this. The right courtship is the time when you are waiting to hear God. Forget about what people say getting. It's about, these motivational speakers and these advisors and these marriage counselors. It's not the voice of God. It's a voice of reason from people. These marriage counselors, these people who talk this, and I respect them with a lot of respect. But the truth is, what they are saying is, yes, it's a voice of reason, but it's somebody's mind. Somebody wrote something that they did research, but they didn't hear God. How many people have read marriage? Okay, they asked me, you want to marry, how many marriage books have you read? They asked those questions, isn't it? How many marriage books have you read? Nonsense. You can have 100 marriage books in your house. You divorce in 3 weeks. It's not in how many books you read. The question is God in it? You can marry the kind of man you never expected to marry in your life. You can marry the kind of woman you never thought you can marry. But as far as God is in it, you begin to like it and grow. Let me ask you a question. Abraham is telling the man, put your hands between my thigh and vow. You know what that means? You know what that means? You are putting your hands between my legs. You are making a vow to me and before my God that you marry to my daughter the right woman. Meaning you are swearing by my life as the father of the boy, through whom he came from my loins. Meaning if you let me down, even my Gentile generation, my blood will be on your head. Are you following what I'm saying? Meaning Abraham took the marriage very serious. He didn't say swear to me. No, he said, come sir, come, put your hands here. Okay, now swear. Are you following what I'm saying? So it's regarded. Now when they brought a wife to him, okay, a question. Jacob was to marry. He worked 7 years for the woman. They changed, isn't it? They gave him a wrong one. Did he send him away? He just worked for another one, but this one was there. Right? He stayed with all of them till the rest of his life. The one that he was to marry came second. So, officially, who was Jacob's wife? The official wife, practically, is usually the first. Not the second. Because they say the first is even the wife, is even the owner of the home. Right? So, who was Jacob's wife? Not the second. He married what he wanted, but the father of the lady gave him what was right. A story for another day. So, courtship is a period with which you are trying to know God. Number one, am I ready to marry? Me. Number two, am I supposed to marry this man or this woman? Number three, am I doing the right thing at the right time? So it's basically trying to know the will of God. There's what you feel and there's what God wants. So you're trying to see, is my feeling aligning with God's will? Basically. Out of that, anything else out of that is man's making. Anything made by a man falls in the hands of men. Back to you.
Okay, I have a question.
Okay.
So we are talking about courtship, that we are waiting to hear God's voice.
Mm-hmm.
And we are people in the church. We want to obey.
Mm-hmm.
This is what God expects us to be.
Mm.
Do you think that we as youth, that we want things to be like this, we want to obey? At some point, we are in the day to day. There is what it used to be in the olden days. There is betrothal, there is courtship. But do you think if we follow what the Bible expects, at some point, as youth in the modern today world, we feel like we are left out, And we have seen scenarios where ladies go past 30 years without finding someone to marry and the likes. What is usually the problem with trying to follow what the Bible expects, try to live according to what God commands us to do, and the confusion between the delay, because we are in the world and things of the world, one or another, affect us, despite the fact that we are not of the world. So what is your take on that? How would we handle it? Because we are in the world.
Like I said last week, we live in the world, but the world is not in us. It's very sensitive to address because, like I had said and I will repeat here, there's a thin line between delay and waiting on God. There are people who are already into confusion, but they still think they're waiting on God. And the people who are waiting on God and they think they're delayed. Now there we are. Like I said last time, we take a high level of discernment of spirit, and that's why I train people to hear the voice of God. Let me explain. We are living in a society that moral standards and value issues have been interfered with. Where now everybody's going this way, I'm the only one left out. My peers, I saw on TikTok a lady saying, my mates are already inviting me to hold their children. I don't know if I'm even fertile in the first place. you know, when a young girl sees something like that, she might be tempted to carry pregnancy. Am I fertile? Am I safe? And so on and so forth. Let me put it this way. Right is right, even if you're the last man standing with it. The challenge we have is that we are living in a society that has these ways of doing things. We have families, we have friends, we have workmates, and so on and so forth. My friend has been married, my friend was dating. At least she's not married, but she has a child. Me, I'm not married, I don't have a child. What if I end up like this? And it's a very serious question ladies at certain level get to. Okay, even if I don't get married, at least let me get 1 or 2 children for my own. That kind of a thing. What I want to say is this. People get there because at some point we have compromised. Follow practically well. The reason why the Bible then can't apply today is because it was easy to meet a 25, 30-year-old girl, virgin, in those days. Today, finding a 15-year God forgive me for using this word. but I'm addressing the truth. At 15, 16, 17, they know what you did not know. True. And they have gone places you have not gone. They have done things you have not done. So, as we expose ourselves early to negativity, then we even bring early growing the things that were affecting people at 50, 60 begin to affect us at 35, 40 here. If you ask my mothers and those who are there then, they will tell you this issue of a lady getting to a place she cannot get pregnant, we call it menopause, was a 50, 60-year affair for many years. And there are those who still uphold a lot of things that can even still get pregnant at 50. Today, if you find a lady at 40 getting pregnant, it's as if a miracle has happened. You know why? Because our system has been interfered with us as early as 15, 16, 17. So then we blame God. Are you following what I'm saying? So society has pushed us into so much evil, so that we have gone to the extreme side of evil, so that even righteousness no longer look like right. When you do too much evil, you look at right, you don't think it's right. Because what we are used to is this one, no. So what I would say is this. Yes, is a reality. The food we are eating, peer pressure, families we are coming from, society we are living in, there's a lot we are being fed, which now affect our even belief system. But again, I believe strongly if somebody can uphold to the biblical standards as it were, that which was written then still can apply now. Because it's the same God who created us, the same God who said it, is the same human being. But there's no way you can drink alcohol and preach water. So you're telling our youth today, don't do it. Don't do what? It's already is a lady dating 4 people. She's not up to 20 years. She has 4 boyfriends. One is 40-something years. Another one is 30-something. Another one is in her late 20s, maybe early 30s. Another one now is age mate. So if you ask, you saying, oh, this one I'm placing a bet. Or this one, there are a lot of ways to defend it. Or this one is paying rent. Or this one, at the end of the day, and I will say it when we proceed there because sex is spiritual. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And what a man releases into a woman is blood, it's not semen. I said it last time. And that's why they call it my seed. My blood. But when a man have intercourse with a woman, they don't release blood. What they release is not blood, but it's blood in essence. Because it's life. So I will say it when I get there. But the thing is this. I strongly believe, my daughter, that if somebody can still uphold righteousness, a man or a woman, is hard today because of the society we are living in.
Yeah.
That you find a young girl not drinking, not smoking, not messing around. It's not easy. Because there is party everywhere. On Sunday, that's why it's rare to find even youth in church. Because now parties are on Saturdays and Sunday. You drink the whole Saturday. You wake up on Sunday morning, you are on, how do you call it, hangover. Your eyes are red. What you did last day, you cannot go before prophet because prophet will see me. So I'll go to church after 2 weeks, at least you are forgotten. Before you know it, you are backsliding. Are you feeling what I'm saying? It wasn't so then. But I believe strongly if a youth still today can uphold the biblical standards as it were, they still can enjoy. I believe a 50-year-old can still get pregnant today. Very easy. It should not be a miracle. But why is it becoming a miracle? Because the way we are living, at 37, 38, a young girl is beginning to have, her body begin to misbehave somehow. Somebody said it's 35, 36, 37. You're like, what is your problem? I also don't understand what is happening with my body. They are going to check with their guy now, wherever. They're already worried. You know why? Because of either we exposed our life very early, we slept with many men, and listen, I said last time, and I pray our youth to listen to what I said. Ladies mostly are at risk. Because I said ladies, age like milk. The more men you allow into your system, physically you may not tell, but spiritually with the time, you will know the impact of what that did. Are you following what I'm saying? Yeah, because there is a soul tie part of it, which I will talk at some point. There's a spiritual transaction, and there's a physical part. So when somebody is at 30, she has seen men she should have seen at the age of 60. So her body is responding as somebody at the age of 50, 60, at the age of 30. And then they blame God for it. Or my ancestors, even ancestors are asking themselves, we've left your matter. In fact, your matter, we are out of your matter many weeks, many years ago. Even they are surprised you are calling their name. So what I would say is this: yes, it's a serious challenge we are facing, but I believe we can still do the right thing.
Okay.
Yeah.
Papa, on that same regard, you were mentioning how people misunderstand courtship. As you were explaining, it is that season whereby you're waiting to hear God. Once God has spoken, what is the next step? In your case, you told us it was as quick as I know the will of God, and within 3 months you're already planning for the wedding. Within this generation now, whereby there is the need for customs and traditions and everything, what would you say should be the transition Because there could be a time whereby God is saying this person, but then the customs would roll out. How should a youth take it when they know this is what God is saying, but my customs might want me to wait for my brother? My customs might say you don't marry someone from another country or from another tribe. How then would we take it when our understanding of Christianity, our understanding of the mind of God conflicts with tradition?
You know, God is supreme in this matter. And God takes the center stage. I believe if you stand with God, you stand with the majority. There are times family can disagree with you on who you are marrying. And tomorrow that family come and celebrate you for marrying that person. Because in most cases, family don't see with the eyes of God. They see with the eyes of family. They are human. My brother, you can't marry that man, maybe he's poor. You can't marry that man, maybe he's not well educated. You can't marry that man, or maybe he's very rich, he will torment you. You know, people also fear marrying too much wealth and too much poverty. Because when they know if the man is too much to the extreme end, they will make you like a puppet. You'll be like a house girl in that compound. Because your family is poor, so what can you say there? So they want somebody who is somewhat rich, but not very rich. But if it's poverty, at least don't be poor. You understand? Sometimes a man can be poor. Society may not want to marry that lady because she's coming from a poor family. The father is a drunkard. Maybe the mother and the father separated. The reality that the father and the mother got separated doesn't mean that you and her will separate. Because with God on our side, with prayer, yes, theirs can not work. And I know it's something we need to consider. Yes, but it's not supposed to be the standard that any lady that their mother separated with the father now can't marry. Our family is saying, don't marry here, don't marry there, don't marry. No. Sometimes it's good to respect the family, because after all, she's going to stay in that family. Because when you marry again as a family, you are exposed to your wife or your husband to a lot of battles. Why marry a man you can't take to your family? Why marry a lady you can't take to your family? Because there's a lot of attack, you know. Your mother doesn't want her, your father. It's your work to make them want her or want him. What I would say is this: let God be the priority, but find a way to have family understand, even if the worst come to us. But if they refuse and you feel God is saying, go this way, choose it this day. Is it God you're going to obey, or your father? Because your father will die or your mother will die one day. And they will leave you with a man you never wanted to marry. Don't please men today. Because if you please men to marry the man they want, remember you will be staying with this man for the rest of your life trying to please them.
Yeah.
And that's why many marriages are failing today. We married because we want to please this person. Now that person is not there. Now you finish pleasing them. Now you have the reality to deal with. What do? So you hate yourself, hate the man. You have 6 children. Looking like, let me tell you, when you marry somebody you don't want, all the children you get with that person, they look like that person. If it's the man or the woman. Oh. So there is no way you can go. You know, you cannot carry all children with big head. The eyes or whatever is like the father or the mother. So you say, okay, for the sake of children, let me stay. No, it's not supposed to be like that. Yeah. I want to read for your scripture in Proverbs chapter 19, verse 3. 19 verse 3 says, sometimes people ruin their lives through their mistakes, then blame it on God. People blame their lives, mess their lives, ruin their lives by their own hands. 19 verse 3. Blame it on God. Are you together?
Yeah.
Mostly, we follow what people say. I can't marry that man. I can't marry that woman. I can't marry that man. What will my friends say? Remember, you have friends in primary school. You did not know one day that you will not know where they are. Can you tell me where all of them are? You have friends in high school. Do you still know where all of them are? You don't even know if some of them have died. But when you are friends, that time, you are like, oh, we'll be friends forever. The same way now you are friends today, you think you'll be friends forever. Don't be deceived. The same way those ones in primary, you don't even know where they are. You see these ones you have today. Some of them in the 5-10 years, you wouldn't even know where they are. Don't allow them to form while you are making decisions.
Yeah.
Behave like those ones in primary. So you had friends, everybody, even myself. Some high school, some college, some after college, and so on and so forth. In the neighborhood, in the workplace. But you realize as time goes, you shed some friends, you get some friends. So friends are temporal. Never make permanent decision based on friends' opinion. And even family are permanent in one way, but also family can also affect you. Because there are levels you grow in life, whereby you live with the family as if you are strangers. Family are usually good when people are still young. As you grow, you just begin to fight, disagree. Have you seen it?
Yes.
But when you are young, you and your sister, your brother, you are like, oh, you're best of friends. When you begin to grow, everybody begin to take their own shape. So that would be the answer I would give for today.
I guess along those lines, Papa, how do you handle the pressure as a man? Allow me to tilt towards men a bit, because
She can ask for ladies.
Gladly. Last time around, you were telling us that yes, for you the journey started a bit earlier. Then you mentioned how you had to go through a fair share of battles. How do you handle the pressure as a man, knowing that this is now my time, my season? Then you go ahead with the marriage, but now that you are inside the house, now the responsibilities are coming to you, because definitely ladies always express their opinion. How then would you say earlier for you at those early stages of marriage, how were you able to handle the pressure?
Marrying at that age, the age bracket I gave last time, marriage is dynamic. And every marriage has a page that is unique only to that marriage. That if a language that can only be spoken in that marriage, if you copy what she's saying, for example, with her husband in her marriage, and try and use in your own marriage, you may fail. But it's working for them. So every marriage has a language. In this marriage, there can be friends, and the woman can make some jokes and the man doesn't care. In another marriage, the man is a lion. You don't try. If you try, you lose 2 teeth. You understand? So if you see them, they are joking. The wife was slapping the husband was like, You also go, you slap your husband. You come back. You understand when you come back. You understand what I'm saying? This is the thing. The question is a bit hard, but let me answer it this way. Make sure that you can control yourself. As a man, before you have authority to control somebody's daughter. Remember last time I said no woman can be straight. So when you are going into a marriage, you know very well nobody's straight, meaning nobody's perfect. Then how are you going to deal with the imperfection? You self, you have your own imperfections. How do you handle yourself when you're angry? I've seen men that are dating, quote unquote, and you are beating a girlfriend. And you are a lady, a man that doesn't even know the road to your village is beating you, and because I love him. Get out. Let me tell you, love is blind, but marriage will open your eyes. Papa, you know I love him. Love is blind, yes, but when you enter marriage, it will open your eye. You see the eye that is blind? It will clear inside marriage. There's something like love is blind in marriage. Everybody in marriage, their eyes are clear. They are seeing very well. What I'm trying to say is this. Never you only marry based on love. Because then, when you meet the reality, love will not be able to help. I'm telling you, we've been deceived. Oh, marry somebody you love. Love is primary. You need to love somebody before you marry. Because how can you marry somebody you don't love? Right? But marry somebody who fear God, who can understand your stupidity and still call you darling. Are you following what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Somebody who can know what is worse in your family and still look at you in the eye and tell you, I still love you. There is a level love gets, and somebody begin to say, I did not know that this is what I loved. Then love begin to grow weary. Because love can be attacked by battles. The more challenges you face in marriage, the more love goes down. There is a time you stay with your husband, even for 1 year, he never told you I love you, you never told him I love you, and you don't hate him. Even if you just go and stand and tell him I love you, you don't even have to say it. But when you are dating, love is in the morning, breakfast, lunch. You even say love where it's not supposed to be. Even the lady or the man will claim you must ask for forgiveness because you have not told me I love you today. Don't worry. After 3-5 years, you will understand. What am I trying to say? What am I trying to say? My God. You must be able to control self. The Bible says, love one another as you love yourself. So you will not know how to love person B if you don't know how to love yourself. You will not know how to have control over person B if you don't know how to have control over yourself. Are we together? I've seen scenarios where people marry and still somebody who is married is still masturbating. We thought masturbation is a matter of single people who are struggling because they don't have a boyfriend. I don't have a girlfriend. I don't want to sleep around. So that's why I was doing it. Listen to me. Oh God. If you can't control yourself before you are married, are you learning what I'm trying to say here?
Yeah.
It's not about age. Do you know even fools grow old?
That's true.
Maturity is not age. Even fools grow old. You see a very old foolish person, and now you don't know how to address them because you want to respect age and their foolishness at the same time. You must be able to tell yourself, I'm not going to masturbate. And you can control yourself and conquer self. I'm giving an example. I'm not going to drink and people are drinking, and I'm not going to drink and conquer self before you can conquer friends and family and peer pressure. The phone is mine, the TV is mine. I'm not going to watch pornography because it's my phone, my data, my hands, my eyes. I'm going to be in charge. Once you conquer self, then you can control a woman and you can control your husband. Because even a woman has a place to play in marriage. Are you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Did I answer you? You asked for a man. And I said even fools grow. So it's not about age. Anything you can ask for ladies before we come back to the neutral?
I don't think if I have a question, but I would like to ask in relation of what the Bible says. The Bible says that a woman is supposed to submit and respect, and a man to love his wife like Christ loves the church. So I would like to understand, I'm a youth, I would like to marry someday. So what happens if now we are in a generation where some people like, I'm a man, I'm a woman feeling like I'm in a man's body. You know these things where someone calls themselves gay and things like that. So you, what if, I end up married or something like that? So what happens to the gender roles? I'm a woman, I can never be the same to a man, even if we come with women empowerment and all that. So how do I maintain my position as a woman? How do I behave as a woman? There is a lot of peer pressure and a lot of marriage counselors and a lot of relationship coaches. There's a lot of things going on. So there's a man who's there as a family, and I'm the woman who's supposed to submit and respect. So I need a clear definition of how do I stay on my side of a healthy submission and respect. Yeah.
We're in a generation where things have shifted. And I will tell you, it's very unfortunate that even now men are the ones submitting to women. It's very unfortunate. Okay? Because of what I said last time, there's a prophecy that says a time is coming when 7 women will go to 1 man. And they will tell him, be our husband. We will take care of our children, we will pay our bills. Just give us your name. Now imagine me, Robert, with all the brains I have, with all the God I have, and my work is just to give you name. See how stupid I am. That I'm very useless, that I've come to a level where the only thing I can give a woman is a name. So that prophecy, people think that men should brag. Oh, you see these women, oh, they think I can beg them. Time is coming, they'll beg us. I'm coming to answer your question. Yeah. It's even more risky. That prophecy also means the other side. Okay, it's trying to say time is coming when many ladies will be more than men. And actually that prophecy is almost getting there. Even in the world, we have like 1 billion men plus, and we have like 4 billion women. It's not even double. I don't know exact figures, but it's around 1 point something billion men, 3 or 4 point something billion women. Are we together? Yeah. So the prophecy is almost going there. But the other side of the prophecy men don't know, which I want to say for record. That prophecy also is saying on the other side, men are going to be useless. And men are going to lack money. Money is going to shift hands. Money is going to go into the hands of women. That's why they are saying, I can pay my bills. Are you following what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So yes, we are going to be many, but okay, and that's why the women empowerment thing has become the order of the day, and it's antichrist. Woman equality is antichrist, because from the order of God from Genesis, man can never be equal with woman. So anybody advocating for a man to be equal with a woman, it is trying to say God is lying. Now back to your question. Woman is to honor and respect and help the man. It is happening, unfortunately, that the woman who is supposed to help the man is the one working, the man is jobless. So the woman then takes care of the entire bill of the house. And once a woman sits in a wrong seat, right? Mm-hmm. She's the one paying bills. Then she wants to be the one commanding. This is my house. I'm the one paying rent. Because women are not supposed to be doing it. When they are doing it, they have a wrong authority, they exercise it wrongly. Marriage breaks. 2. I started from the scriptural perspective of women getting more money. Now we are going deep to now what she asked. How do I remain where I'm supposed to be? I want to tell you, if you are not just intentional and God-fearing in our generation, you can't do it. If I answer you straight. Because there are ladies who, through high school, I'm told, is where this gayism and lesbianism starts mostly. Mostly in boarding high school. A lady who was born a lady 100% is being introduced by friends. You understand what I'm saying? And another friend begin to tell her you are beautiful. And you know, even if you don't appreciate it the first day, the more they tell you, the more it goes into your head. You're human. And the fellow gender telling you are beautiful is not what you're used to. But the more they keep telling you, the more you keep, then you begin to appreciate, you begin to accept. So, you are not born that way, but through peer pressure. And you see others doing it too much until you get used to it. Are you following what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. This is what I would say. A woman that remains a woman, number 1, must fear God. Number 2, must have good home training. It plays a lot of roles. There are things we were rebuked when we were young. We cannot do them today even when we are big. And our parents are not staying with us. But that thing we were told is still with us. You can't do that. You can't do that. Even if your mother is not there or your father, there are things you can't just not do. Not even because of them. You are trained that way. And the third thing, you're just intentional. This marriage is authored by God. For me, it has to work for me. Whatever it will take me, it has to work for me. So intentionality, upbringing, and the fear of God. Forget all these things, reading books, reading Bible, reading those things. Forget. Pastors break, marriages break. And they're not the only one reading Bible, they're even preaching it. I know a pastor who has had 3 marriages officially done on the altar. Break, divorce, marry, break, divorce, marry, break, divorce. Speaking in tongues, laying hands, demons are leaving people. So is intentionalism? Me, I'm intentional. My father may have failed, my mother may have failed, my brothers may have failed, But me, this thing must work. 2, upbringing. How you are trained also matters. And 3, the fear of God. You fear God so much that there are things you can't allow. Are you following? Yeah. So that then will keep you in your place. Yeah, there are times you feel like this man is trying to show me. I can show him what I'm made of. Nonsense. If this man knew the way I used to beat my elder brothers, he's even, if I give him one, he will correct himself. But then you tell yourself, you fear God. You understand what I'm saying? That I say controlling self. You remember? Yeah. You can put yourself to order. And say, wait. We said we are not going in that direction. Behave. So, that self, can I tell you what makes a man better or a woman? Is the force that comes from within. An outside force will break you. An inside force builds you. Can I explain further? Yeah. If you put an egg into an incubator or under a chicken, the heat that will come from the inside the egg, if it breaks that egg, it will produce a chick. But if you heat the egg from outside, you may make the egg, life of the egg, cut before the time. So a force from outside may kill the egg, but the life from inside brings life. So if you can control self, you are telling yourself, me as teacher, I will never overdo anything. Everything I'm going to do in my life, I must be controlled. People are drinking, I will sit like this and choose, am I going to drink or not? Forget about pastor, church, no. Me, in my own standards. Forget about I'm born again. There are things that I'm going to have my do's and don'ts, and I'm not going to break. And you discipline yourself. Your pastor will have an easy work. Holy Spirit will have an easy work. Your spouse will have an easy work. Because if you are married as a woman, as young as you are, you get married, maybe say God helping you a year or 2 or 3 from now, you are married. Nobody will know at your age you are married. When they see you as, hey, can I talk to you? It takes discipline at a personal level. Because you are giving somebody a number. He has approached you. Is an opposite sex, right? Because he has asked you for the number, so you are giving him. With what intentions were you giving him? With what intentions was he asking in the first place? And then tomorrow night he's saying hi, then you are saying hi. And then before tomorrow you are arguing with your husband over a chat with somebody. And then you are like, he just took my number from where? Because it is the intention when you are giving him the number. Did you know the intention why he was asking for the number in the first place? You didn't know. And if you don't know your intention, I don't give you the number. We are not doing business. You're not my tribe. You're not my community. You're not my church member. You're not my village member. Sir, what do you want my number for? I'm a married woman. Even that married one is the one we want. Tell him now, go and take your wife's phone number. A lady, I have a daughter in this church. A man used to frustrate her. And that man also was a member of the church and married. But at the end of the day, both of them left church. But before they left church, I helped the lady. This man used to follow her every day. So one day he gave the man the number. The man would chat her, I love you. Me, I want to marry your second wife. I want to do this. And I know the man is lying. She also knows the man is lying. So one day she blocked the man. The man kept telling her in church, give me a number, I can get you. So she's married, but the husband was not coming to church. So I told her, now give the man your husband number. And tell your husband that this man has been frustrating me. So chat him as if you're chatting me. Do you know I saved the woman marriage? Because number one, the man knew my wife, if she can do this, this woman loves me. She can't cheat. So the man now was happy chatting the other man. See how stupid that man was. The day the man knew I'm the one who advised that woman like that, he left my church. But at least I helped that woman. Are you following what I'm saying? What I'm saying is this. You must be in charge of yourself first. Be intentional. Fear God. You may, about training, because you may not be responsible between the relationship between your mother and your father. You understand? Maybe your mother was wrong or your father was wrong, so something happened. So that's not your problem. But with God on your side, you can start a new tree, a new branch, where people now marry and settle. Yeah. Your mother may have failed, there's no problem. Your father may have failed, there's no problem. You must not fail. Okay? Yeah.
I believe, Papa, as we just round off this session, help us understand sex. because it is one whereby the world is painting as though at any age, at any time, you can have a go. But help us understand from the principles that are laid out in Scripture. Because some of us, we understand when the psalmist says, how can a young man live a life that is pure? Because it is difficult to maintain self-control in those areas. Help us understand why did God give sex to men? Why did God give men and women the right to exercise sex? And what is the right way to perceive it?
Ordinarily, from my understanding, I can differ with people over this. From my own understanding, I believe sex was created for procreation, not for fun. If then we go back to the original meaning of sex, then we will get back to our feet. But once we lose the real meaning of why we have sex, then we lose the entire thing. Okay? Let me say it this way. The Bible says, wine makes merry, but money answereth all things. Meaning, in a celebration, as it were in Cana of Galilee, what was to make a celebration was wine on the table. But people were not to drink and be drunk of the wine. It was just to get a glass and sip, as it were in the olden days. But today, people drink wine until they are being carried when their legs are up, their head is down. I'm just giving an example. So anything that was right, once used wrongly, you get a wrong result. Okay? There's no age stipulated in the Bible when somebody should start having sex. No. But it's just in good respect that people should allow themselves to start having sex when they know they are in charge of themselves and they are in charge of their environment. But people start exercising sex when they are still under other people's guard. Somebody is paying your school fee, you are busy enjoying sex. Somebody is paying your house rent, you are looking for who to have sex with. Somebody's, even airtime you don't have. Even shoe, clothes, food, basic things. You can't take care of yourself. You are asking somebody's son whose mother is not taking care of, to also take care of you. So if you ask me, when do people start having sex? If I leave the marriage, leave the Bible first, is when you are fully now in charge of your personal life. At least you can start thinking of sex. Are you understand what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. 2, to complicate it further, sex before marriage is sin. And once the Bible says so, it remains so. We may have a lot to struggle with. And I told you, before you are born again, you will not know how this body is hard to deal with. If as a non-believer, you can do anything. A Sunday morning, you can have sex. People are worshiping God. You are busy having sex. There's nothing to control you. When you are born again, that's when you realize now it's hard because there are Bible standards. Christianity does not allow you to go here, does not allow you to do this. So because of that now, you begin to struggle with what you ought not to struggle with. The Bible says sex before marriage is sin, and it remains sin. It was, it is, and it will be. So then Paul says, if you think you can't, then marry. Are you following what I'm saying? My former church, that's why I told you, prefer that you better marry as young as possible so you don't expose yourself to sin. Because now once it is a wife, then it's biblically acceptable. Once it's a husband, even family, once they know this is my husband, your mother will not ask you what are you going to do with that man.
True.
And even God won't ask you either. That's why I tell people, even those who cannot do marriage, wedding, the church wedding, they come to church, let them get offering. Me, I'll pray for you. Go and start staying. Yeah, inshallah I do. It's not a must to do wedding if you don't have money. So we will kill you because you don't have money. No, come, I'll bless the two of you, because what make marriage is the parents, God, and God now is the pastor who represents. His parents giving consent, and the two of you, are you okay? Is your parents okay? Is God okay? You are married. Then now, from there, if you have money, we can do a wedding or you can give you certificate. There's not much. I've done people prayer of Sunday after church like this. People will sit down, say now, before you go home, we are wedding this one. Yeah. Okay. The main factor is people who have made marriage look complex and expensive.
Yeah.
So that you want to marry, but you're like, Provided you don't do it out of church, meaning you don't put God out of it. Make sure your parents are involved, the two of you give consent, and God give consent, you are done.
Okay. It's simpler compared to what we have nowadays.
Even in my office, even in my house, even after church, I'll bless you. And once I bless you, heaven has blessed you. Simple. Then when you now have money later, then now you can throw a party. We put a gown, dance, I'll come. Give me good seed. Let me come and dance and forget my sorrows. And marry. And thank God for your marriage. But if you can also have money from the beginning, you can do it as you start. Yeah.
Okay.
My co-host, our Father has given us the opportunity to not only learn what He has to offer, but He has even blessed the viewers. Papa, we thank you for the opportunity. My co-host, I give you the honors. Over to you.
All right, guys, I hope that you've listened, and one way or another we have answered one of the many questions that any of you might have. You can always comment. We can always check into your questions later. We can come back to the same questions concerning in relation to what you have discussed today. But so far so good. I hope that you've been blessed, and we will see you next time. God bless you.